G'day and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we're going to make this gorgeous flower. This pattern was designed by Heather from patternsforcrochet.co.uk and we will be following along with her awesome pattern. The link for the free written pattern that we will be following along with today is in the description box, so I will put a link there for you and you can go and print off your own version. I would like to say thank you to Red Heart for supplying the yarn for this video. We're using the Red Heart Shimmer for this video, and if you know me already you'll know that I love this yarn. It is so pretty and I just love the little bit of glitter that is through this. So let's get started on the pattern. So let's get started on the video. No, what do we say? So let's get started on the video. No, what do we say? Oh my god. So let's get started on the lesson. For our supplies we're going to need some yarn. I'm using some Red Heart Shimmer. I'm going to be using two colours. I'm going to be using Red Heart Shimmer, and this is a aqua sort of colour, and it's colour number 9. And I'm also going to be using the pink. It's like a bright candy pink. I'm not sure on the number of that one, but it's got the sparkle as well. So I'm going to be using this for the flower. You will only need a little amount of the blue because it's just for the centre of the flower. And you won't really need much. This is going to be plenty for the flower. So I'm going to put that aside. We also need a crochet hook to go with our yarn. I'm using a size 4mm, which is an American size 7. You could also use a G size crochet hook. You will also need a size E or 3.5mm crochet hook, and also a button about 1/2 inch, maybe a bit smaller, to go with the button for the middle of the flower. But I won't be using a button, so I can show you how to do that too. You're also going to need a small amount of yarn scraps or a small amount of stuffing instead of your button if you don't have any buttons. The yarn I'm using is an 8-ply or double knit. You could also use worsted weight, and I would suggest probably about a 5 or a 5.5mm crochet hook, which is a H or an I. You're going to need a pair of scissors and also a yarn needle with a large eye. So grabbing your yarn and your crochet hook. It says the flower is made in rounds without turning, and we're going to do a chain 4. So make your slip knot. You can do that however you like. And we're going to make a chain 4. We're going to slip stitch to the first chain. And this forms a little ring. And if you grab hold of the chains and pull it apart, you'll notice there's a little circle in, a little hole in the middle. And we're going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch, and we're going to work 10 single crochet into the ring. You could also use a magic ring for this as well, instead of your chain 4 and join. So we're going to go into the middle and work 10 single crochet. Then we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So it's the first stitch that we did. So we're not including the chain 1. Chain 1 and work 2 single crochet in each single crochet round. So in the same stitch we're going to work 2 single crochet. So at the end of this round we should have 20 stitches because we're working 2 in each. When we have our 20 stitches, we're going to join with a slip stitch. We're going to chain 6 and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over into the same stitch, work a double crochet, skip 1 single crochet and work a double crochet, chain 3 and a double crochet in the next. So skip this one, skip that one, in the next one work double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet back in that same stitch that we just worked this one into. And we're going to repeat this around. So we're going to skip one, double crochet and chain 3 and double crochet into the next. 1, 2, 3 and double crochet in the same stitch. You end up with these chain 3 loops here, and that's where we're working our next round into. So skip 1, double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet in the same stitch. So repeat this around and I'll meet you when we are ready to join. So pause the video, I'll see you in just a moment. So when we come back around, we're ready to join, and we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the 6 that we did at the beginning. So count up 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go into there with our crochet hook, pull through and join with the slip stitch. So altogether we're going to have 10 chain 3 spaces. So make sure you've got 10 altogether. I've already counted mine, so I know I've got 10. And round 4, it says chain 1, single crochet. So we're going into the chain 3 space, which is here, this big hole here. We're going to single crochet, half double crochet, so it's yarn over, in, pull up, pull through 3, 4 double crochet, one half double crochet, and I'm going to have to just scoot that around because I haven't got enough room here. So it's half double, so it's just in, yarn over, pull through 3, and then a single crochet in there as well, and that's the petal of one of your flowers. Into the next chain 3 space, so it's just here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to single crochet, 1 half double crochet, so it's yarning over first, 4 double crochet, one half double crochet and a single crochet. And we're doing this in every chain 3 space around. So I'll show you the next one and then we'll just complete the rest off camera. So into the next chain 3 space, so in there, single crochet, half double crochet, 4 double, a half double crochet and a single crochet. Okay, so we're going to repeat this all the way around, and we're only working into our chain 3 spaces. And so pause the video and I'll meet you when we are ready to join. So once we've gone all the way around, it is time to join, and we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, which is over here. The first stitch is in our chain 3 loop here. We're going to slip stitch to that, and we're going to finish off. And you will need to sew in your ends, and this time when we sew in our ends it's quite easy. because we can just sew it in to the back where the petals are. So if you look at our work here, we can just work our stitches underneath here. And we're just picking up the stitches on the back of the work. We're not going right through to the front. We're going to skip a couple here and then work it back across. And you can do that backwards and forwards a couple of times if you like. This is just a flower, so I know it's not going to be pulled around too much, so that should be enough. This one I will keep long like that, and that can be stitched to something if it needs to be stitched to something. So to make the centre of the flower, you can do this with a button or without. You're going to grab your smaller crochet hook, and I'm going to be using a blue centre for this one, because I'm just using up some scrap yarn. And what we want to do with our small crochet hook, we want to chain 8. So we're going to make a slip knot. You can do this any way you like. And we're going to make 8 chains. And we want to have tight tension with this, so if you need to, you can drop down another crochet hook. So chain 8. Single crochet in the second chain from the crochet hook, so it's not the one on the crochet hook, that's number 1 and that's number 2. Single crochet into there, and single crochet in each chain across. So we've got this little tiny cute little worm looking thing. We're going to get to the end, we're going to turn it around because I want to go back across. So turn it around, and we're going to repeat. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet back in the same stitch, and single crochet across, and altogether we should have 7 stitches. And the 7th stitch goes in here, and sometimes we can miss that and our piece will gradually get smaller if we keep missing that last stitch. So go in there for that last one. And now that we've done our single crochet in there, each time it gets easier at the end, so it's easier than doing that, trying to stab it in there. So chain 1, turn, or turn chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, the very first stitch there. So our chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. And because we did that same thing on the previous row, if we get to the end, we're going to single crochet in the single crochet, and that chain 1 we're going to ignore it. So the chain 1 you can hardly even see it. So just here you'll see a little, like a little dark patch, I guess you could call it. That's where we put in our crochet hook, and that's our stitch. So that's the end of row 3, and it says work it until you have a total of 6 rows. So we need to do 3 more. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll do that off camera, and then I'll show you how to make your button. So after we finish our 6 rows, that is like the cutest piece of crochet I think I've ever made. So after we finish, we're going to fasten off. But we want to fasten off with enough yarn so that we can gather around the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my yarn, and I'm loosely going to go around the outside so I know that I have enough yarn to gather that up and also to sew it on. So I've got approximately 10 inches. I'm going to finish that off. Then we're going to grab our yarn needle. And then around let's go across the top first because that's easier. We're going to gather around it, so we're just going to go in through the stitch and out, in and out, in and out, and in. And we're going to do the same along the edge. Try and keep your stitches small if you can. Don't pull it too tight yet because you want to get in your button. So along the last one, you're going to place your button in the middle. So grabbing your yarn scraps, I've probably got a bit too much here. That's not really a scrap, but it's only a really short piece. I'm just going to wind it up so it's easier to handle. I actually think that's probably going to be enough. It might even actually be too much. Let's see if we've got some small pieces. They're just literally just scraps. That one's even actually tied in a knot. That one's just a yarn end. We're going to screw it up as small as we can get it. You can see how it's easy to wrap it around your fingers. We're going to put it in the middle, or you'll put your button in the middle, and then we're just going to pull on this thread. I've still got my finger on the scraps. You can put this yarn tail in the center and hide that in the middle. I'll push all that in there. And we're just going to pull that closed. See? And because I didn't have a button the right size, and I thought maybe someone else doesn't as well, so I thought I would test out my theory to see if that would work. And I still think that looks just as cool if we didn't have a button. I can see some green yarn there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll poke it in. And that's why I was saying to keep your tension tight, because you don't want to see through. So once you've got that all gathered at the back, we're just going to stitch it up, because we don't want it coming undone. And then we're just going to tie it off. So before the yarn pulls through, we're going to put our yarn needle through our loop and then pull that tight. And that will secure that off. You could do that another time if you wanted to. So then we're going to grab our button. So if you're going to leave your flower like that, you could probably leave that yarn tail, but I've just realised I will need to sew that in, because I can use the blue tail from this part as if I wanted to sew it onto something. I can use that tail because that's quite long as well, which will be quite handy. So after you've sewn in all the tails on the flower, you're going to thread that through, and we're going to just, you might need to, if you haven't used a button, might need to just shape it a little bit. You might even want to squash it. Up to you what you do with it. And you're going to place that in the middle. I'm just going to see if I put that through there, what happens if that will go in the middle. Yep, that's pretty good. So I'm going to squash that down a bit. come out through. You can sew this on any way you like. That's looking pretty cute. So then I'm just going to secure that off at the back. And I'm just going to hide my ends. Actually no, I'm not, because I will need that to sew that onto a project. So I'm just going to secure that again. It seems to be quite loose. There we go. I think that is so cute. Great pattern by the wonderful Heather. Now this flower is actually going on a bag, which I will need to sew it on. And this bag is also a video tutorial, so there will be a link in the description box. And again, this pattern is also by Heather from patternsforcrochet.co.uk. And as you can see, I haven't sewn it on, like you can still see my yarn ends hanging out, but I think it looks so cute with this bag. And this is the flower that actually goes with this bag, and all the free written information that you need is in the description box. So go and check it out. There are so many. There is literally so many patterns on patternsforcrochet.co.uk. There's all different ones, from baby wear to bags, headbands, home decor. So go and check them out. Brilliant patterns over there, and some of the baby ones are absolutely adorable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you would like to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and then that way you won't miss a video. If you need to check out more of my videos, click on my username and that will take you straight to my channel. Share your creation on our Facebook page. We love to see what everyone's been up to, and especially the colour combinations that you are using. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!